Hey, what's up everyone? As the year draws to a close and the new year approaches, today we're going to talk about the top 5 TMNT moments of 2020. But there's a lot that went down, so much so that we have some honorable mentions that we're going to look at first that were notable. So buckle up, grab a slice of pizza, and dive into the sewers as we take a look at the top TMNT moments of 2020. Honorable mentions. Okay, so these aren't the top 5, but they definitely stand out as noticeable moments in the world of the TMNT this past year. Let's go through them quickly before we get to the main list. I hope I didn't miss any, but here we go. The 1990 plastic cell sculptures. To me, every time the 1990 Turtles get some love, especially now 30 years later, it makes it to this list. And these awesome pieces released this year are a highlight, and it was fun covering their releases throughout the year. We got all 4 Turtles this year. Hopefully, we see the Shredder at some point. Next highlight was that direct line commercial that came. It was kind of random, but what a cool little commercial with a CG animated turtle that now looking back on had pretty interesting timing considering what got announced later in the year. We'll talk about that when we get to the main list. But yeah, this cool little 1-2 minute commercial kind of had people talking at the beginning of the year.
Aw, dude, you gotta be kidding me.
Sorry, mate. Direct Line already gave me a shout.
Next one is NECA. They always make the list, always pumping out some of the best looking turtle figures. Some highlights this year for me personally was the reveal of Super Shredder, Toka and Razor, and the Concert Turtles. Super interested to see what they have planned for next year, but yeah, pretty cool TMNT figures coming from them. This next one I really liked, not so much because I play the game, I've honestly never played it, but more because of the trailer they released, which was so cool, and that was the trailer for the Smite Ninja Turtles Battle Pass that came out this year. I just loved the vibe of it, the design of the turtles, and just the love that the people that did it had for the turtles. You could tell when they talked about it, when they were showing the gameplay, that they knew what was up, and as a turtle fan, I appreciate that kind of stuff. And the last honorable mention was the arrival of Toka and Razor to the main IDW Ninja Turtles comic story. I haven't had a chance to cover it yet here on the channel, but we will cover it soon. But now let's get to the list of the top 5 TMNT things that happened this year. First up, number 5. Now, although this crossover started in 2019, one of the massive moments that got people hyped in early 2020 was the reveal of Green Ranger Shredder from the Power Rangers Ninja Turtles crossover comic. For those who missed it, the Shredder gets a hold of the Green Ranger's power coin and boom, we got Green Ranger Shredder. At the time it was coming out, people were talking about it. It was making waves for sure. This was right before the lockdown, so people were cosplaying as him and stuff. There was this awesome statue bust that was for sale. It's a shame we never got a figure or anything out of it. Maybe one day. Now another big moment, and I'll lump this in with number 5 here, was the Ninja Turtles morphing into Power Rangers. This was a huge deal for the Ninja Turtles. This crossover comic was just so much fun. I believe now they have the trade paperback collected book, so if you missed out on this one, definitely go take a look at it. It's number 5 on this list of top moments of 2020. Number 4, the rise of the TMNT finale. It was pretty memorable. In fact, I feel most of the 30-minute specials of the show were pretty cool for a different take on the Turtles. The pacing just felt so much better in those 30-minute episodes, and the finale felt this way also, jammed with fast-paced action fights, and a return to Leonardo being the leader. This finale was definitely a top moment of the year, just for the fact that it was a finale alone. That's always a big deal when it comes to turtle shows, and it also set up the upcoming Rise of the TMNT Netflix movie that's coming out in 2021, as they mentioned it at the very end. So for fans of the show, the movie should be something to look forward to. We'll cover it here on the channel when we start hearing more stuff from it. Okay, number 3, the 30th anniversary of the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie. Where to begin with this one? First, they had that Zoom call table read with a lot of people from the movie that was pretty epic. Casey showing up at the end was pretty legendary. Then, and obviously I'm a little biased towards this one, but for me, getting to host the interview with April here on the channel, and then with the writer and the producer of the movie for the 2020 Comic-Con at Home panel celebrating the 30th anniversary was pretty sweet. Getting to hear all those stories firsthand was wild. Then they did the Fathom events with the movie, releasing it again in theaters, which unfortunately due to the virus was downscaled, but still pretty cool. And then the release later on in the year, I think it's still up for sale by the way, of that script storyboard book was pretty awesome. Now yeah, the virus definitely zapped the energy of the 30th anniversary of that first movie, but no doubt throughout the year, all those things they did for it was definitely a nice consolation to have, and I was happy to be a tiny part of it. Let's see if they do something similar for Secret of the Ooze next year.
Again, thank you so much for having me in the old turtle den, because from my closet to your den, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Okay, so number 2 and number 1 were kind of hard. Both are kind of a big deal in the TMNT community. I hope I got them in the right order. I think I did. Number 2 is The Last Ronin. This thing was announced at the end of 2019. After delays, we finally got it, and this thing did not disappoint. This dark turtle story really shook the turtles world as we saw this last surviving turtle navigate this dystopian future to get revenge for his dead brothers. The story is sad, brutal, and bloody, in my opinion, has everyone on board for the next chapter, which is coming out in early 2021 and should keep us entertained with the following chapters for a good chunk of next year. Now, just the mystery surrounding of who was this last turtle was super fun to experience, and them answering it in that first book was a big surprise. This was one that if you missed, you gotta check it out. When it comes to physical copies, there should be more physical copies of this first issue out there eventually. I believe this thing not only got a second printing, but it was sent out there for a third printing as well. So yeah, this big turtle story, The Last Ronin, lands here as number 2 on the list. I hope they do more with this. An animated movie straight to disc or streaming service would be awesome to see, or a limited miniseries would be awesome. Man, I hope they capitalize on this one, but we'll see. Let's take a look at what the number 1 TMNT moment was in 2020. The announcement of the Ninja Turtles movie reboot. This time the movie will be CG animated. So just to brush up on some of the big Ninja Turtles movies, first there was the original trilogy in the 90s, then there was the 2007 CG animated movie, which was sort of a continuation of those first movies depending on who you ask, but if not, that was a reboot. Then the Turtles got rebooted again, and that was the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles that came out in 2014 and 2016. And now they will be rebooted again, and this time it'll be Seth Rogen's Point Grey Pictures, who have done The Boys, Preacher, The Good Boys, just to name some of their more recent projects, will be handling this upcoming CG animated Ninja Turtles movie, which does not yet have a release date or year for that matter, although one could predict 2022 possibly, but no word on that yet. This was announced this year, and we haven't seen what the Turtles are going to look like yet. And the last time we checked, we know that directing will be Jeff Rowe, who's done writing on Gravity Falls and Disenchantment. The new movie will be written by Brendan O'Brien, who wrote Neighbors and Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. This is a big deal. The next theatrical release of the Turtles. That's if nothing changes considering everything that's going on with the virus. A lot of companies have been kind of going to their streaming corners lately, but as of now, it is set to be a theatrical release, and we will keep an eye out on any developments that come out on this and talk about it here in 2021. But that's it for the list. Thanks everyone for watching. Let's see what 2021 brings brings us when it comes to the Green Machine. I can't wait to cover it and talk about it with you all. Happy New Year. Hopefully we have some cool stuff to talk about in 2021. Thanks once again, everyone, for watching. I will see you in a little bit with another video. Take care.
Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds.